In this video, you're about to learn 3 secrets of successful option traders. Now, when I say secret, I don't mean something that others don't know about. It's actually something people know about, but they have yet to discover just how powerful it is. My name is Trader Travis, and I have had the honor and the pleasure of mentoring hundreds of option traders, and every single successful option trader I know follows this approach. But first, let me quickly share with you how I discovered this secret, as you may be making the same mistake I made. Now, if you've never heard of me or don't know my story, I actually grew up poor. And for the first 19 years of my life, poverty was all I had ever known. And I actually didn't learn what the word investing meant until I was 20. And it was when a pastor taught me about real estate investing. And needless to say, like most people, I was hooked. And I set out on a career in real estate investing. Now, ignorance, greed, pride, and poverty mindset, they're really not qualities that will enable you to succeed in life financially. Yet I had every single, all of those qualities. I was a poor person with a poor poverty mindset, and I was using the tools of the rich. And, I wasn't versed in what they call money management or risk management. I didn't have those skill sets. And so over time, I overextended myself on credit. And I had no backup plan, because I still remember this. My exact thoughts were, I don't need an emergency fund or a 401k. I'm going to be rich. I dreamed of nothing but mountaintops. I really didn't factor any valleys into my plan. Now, at this point, I still had no idea what a stock option trader was. I was so focused on real estate that I forgot one of the cardinal rules of investing, and that's diversifying your income streams. I had took every bit of savings I had and poured it all into real estate. And things were going great for a while, about 3 years. And then that's when I encountered my first major problem. And that's when I also realized how flawed my plan was. And so to make a long story short, I had one problem, and then it escalated to several problems. It took me 3 years to build up my real estate business. It took less than 6 months for me to lose everything. Now, I had a problem. I needed money. I really didn't want to be a stock option trader. I just had a problem looking for a solution. And my friend introduced me to this multimillionaire. He said, hey, he's a stock option trader. He can teach you how to trade options. And, being with this mentor, it took him all of 10 minutes to point out what I was doing wrong. And I was putting too much focus on making money. He then shared with me secret number 1 of all successful option traders. He advised me that as an option trader, I should risk only 1 to 2% of my total count on any one trade. And the secret number 2 was to never have more than 50% of my account out in the stock market at any one time. Now, I've since reduced this to about 10% based on my experience as an option trader. And this 2-10 formula, it's also what I share with a student I mentor. Now, some people, they trust my wisdom and just follow what I teach. Others have problems with this. And some of the feedback I get, they're like, Travis, if I invest 1 to 2% of my account on any one trade, I'll never get rich following that plan. And leaving 90% of my money in cash, that's just wasteful. Having all that money sitting in cash is not productive. I'd rather be earning something on it than letting it sit there being eaten up by inflation. Now, these are all valid questions, and the 2-10 formula on the surface does seem counterintuitive, but here's the mistake they're making. And it started with the simple question my mentor asked me: what puts option traders out of business, making money or losing money? Have you ever heard an option trader say, hey, I quit trading because I just made too much money? No, you haven't. That'd be like stupid. It's losing money that causes option traders to give up on their dreams of, becoming financially independent. And this leads to secret number 3 of all successful option traders. You always trade to protect yourself from a loss. When you protect yourself from losing money, you avoid the number 1 reason why people fail. Now, most new traders like they only think about how much money they can make. They see the 2-10 formula and they only think of how much more money they could make if they invested more. But let me share a real life example of how this works. Now, what I'm about to share with you is what I call our secret sauce. It's why our students have a 63.83% success rate in an industry that has a 90% failure rate. At the end of, usually about every year or every other year, I survey my students to ask them, hey, have you made money, with the strategies we're teaching you? And here's their answers. Now, this one right here, I'm very proud of all of our students, but this one really blew my mind. This lady, told me when she bought the course, but look here. She said she will surpass $100,000 in profit within the next month or 2. And she said not bad for a stress-free trading style. Now, what she's using is what I call our set it and forget it style. It's a strategy that takes about 10 minutes, about once a day once a week or once a month, depending on how you choose to employ this strategy. But anyway, let me go back to this example here. $10,000. Let's say you had $10,000 to trade with, and you had $1,000 out in the stock market at any one time. Now let's look at worst case scenario. You lose all 100,000. Well, you're good to go. You still have $9,000 left to trade with. But what's most likely to happen is average case scenario. Let's say you have 5 $200 trades. Each trade represents 2% of your total account at $10,000. And no one trade really can take you out, so to speak, because each trade is only 2% of that 10 grand. So, for example, let's say one trade has a 50% loss, one breaks even, one has a 30% return on investment, one has a 50% return on investment, and one has a 100% return on investment. So your total profit is only $260. You know, like, oh, I can't get rich off of that. But if you multiply that by 12 months out the year, that's 31.2% you made on your total account in a year. And most people's mutual funds are not doing that. Okay. That's 31.2% for the year. And you only had 10% of your account invested at any one time. And at the same time, you were protected from losing all your money, which is what happens to most amateurs and greedy people. And people always say, well, what do I do with the other 90% that's not invested? Whatever the heck you want to do with it, right? And so I said I would show you a real life example. Here's the trades I made in about 2013. If you ever enroll in one of my training programs, you'll see this inside the members area, as well as every single video I recorded me placing these trades, my thought process, everything. So you can see here how I batched my trades together. Each trade represented roughly 2% of my account. So I made 3 trades here. You know, one was a huge loss. Other 2 made money. Here, both lost money. Here, all of them made money. And so you see this give and take here, this back and forth here. So for the year, I only made $3,200. This is on $10,000, and that equaled 32% on that account for the year. Not bad. I'll take that any day, all day. So again, just to summarize, all successful option traders I know, they all follow this 2-10 formula or some variation of it because it protects you from losing a ton of money. But I don't want you to believe me. I want you to believe your experience. So trade my way and then your way side by side, and then see which approach works best for you. Because what works for me may not work for you, but you know what? Results have made me a believer in the 2-10 formula. Again, this is Trader Travis, and on behalf of my family and I, you take care. Talk to you soon. And if you like more training like this, then just subscribe to my YouTube channel or click on the link below. All right. Bye-bye.